going to start the show off, man, with a little bit of somber news today. So yesterday, Alley Boy, the news was, given out that he passed away after a prolonged battle with kidney disease. Now, a little bit of what happened is he did an interview on the podcast in 2024, and there he talked about that he was on dialysis, and he attributed the fact that he was on dialysis to, years of high blood pressure and years of alcohol and lean abuse. If you don't know what lean is, it's opioids. Usually they give it to you for like cough suppressant or something that's going on. Obviously, this was made popular, probably in the 80s and 90s with rap, and a lot of people started doing it. And he was actually on the list for a kidney donation, but he never got it. And he revealed that he was doing dialysis 3 times per week, which I heard is pretty much like hell.
Yeah.
Going through that, draining all your energy, and you have to do that because your kidneys are not working properly. Well, he passed away yesterday. Now, he was a fixture on Atlanta's underground hip-hop scene, him and Big Bank back in the day. More so of an underground guy, but he did, songs with Meek, a lot of people. He held his own in the hip-hop community, but it's sad. The brother was only 42 years old. SamAnt, your thoughts?
Kidney disease plagues our community, man, whether it's through diabetes, how we eat, the things we put in our body, or in the case of Alley Boy, overuse of drugs and things like that, alcohol and things like that. And it's unfortunate. You said he was 41, 42 years old?
Yeah, man.
That's our age. You know what I mean? So that hits home in particular. It definitely hits home when you got families and you have legacies and people looking to you. And you at a stage in your life where it's like, okay, I'm not old, but I'm also not young. You also kind of start looking that other side in the face, but you have so much life to still live. Our grandparents lived in their 80s, and some people live into their 90s. So 40, it's like the halfway point, but at the end of the day, you got so much life to still live. There's so many more chapters in your life to live, and to be cut so short, it's tragic, man, and it's something that we have to pay attention to as black men in our community. When you pay attention, you look at like this the structure way the world is moving. There's so many dialysis centers all across the country. They're in every shopping center, every, county, every city. For a reason. Yeah. Right? That's not by accident, right? So there's obviously something going on where it's jacking up our kidneys and our kidneys in particular, and alcohol abuse and drug abuse will fast track that. And it's not a game. This is putting people in the grave. I got some friends, close friends, who deal with dialysis and been dealing with dialysis for years and probably been cheating death for years. You know what I mean? Yeah, so not a game, not something you want to play with. Condolences to his family, and it should be an eye-opener for especially us black men, man, because these dialysis centers aren't here for no reason. You know what I mean? It's structured for a reason to be here and centered there, and it's one step into the grave, man. So condolences to his family. 41, 42 is far too young to be dying, especially from kidney failure, man. So unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. And when they call, he talked about high blood pressure ruining his kidneys. But they call high blood pressure a silent killer because you don't really have any symptoms until it's too late.
Right.
You can have high blood pressure for 10, 15 years and nothing's going on with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you go in and one day your kidneys or your liver is not working properly. And at that point, it could be like, all right, it's too late. So, what can you do? Obviously, you want to check your blood pressure. That's just one part about it. But the other part about it is you got to look at what you're consuming, bro.
Yep.
Because if you go to these stores and you're getting something in the box and you look at, it ain't always even the salt. It be the sugar, too. You look at the sugar content and the salt content and some of this everyday stuff that you buy, you'll be floored.
Yep.
If you look up the amount you're supposed to consume in a day,
oh, my God,
you're going 3-4 times over with a fucking candy bar.
Yep.
Or drink that you think is harmless.
Yep.
So it's like when you get to that level, it gets very, very scary. And it's almost like, yo, you need to really be eating vegetables. If you're going to get your sugar, get it from fruit. And even watch that.
Yeah, I think it's
eating,
too bad. Yeah.
Consuming those type of things. That's the scary part about it, man. It's so convenient to buy something in a box. It's quick, even buying for your kids, but not knowing that you're giving them 3,000 milligrams, 4,000, 120 grams of sugar in one sitting. That's just one meal, bro.
Yep.
And I know that we don't think about it now because we healthy, but this shit adds up, bro. And I try as much as I can. I ain't saying it's easy, but I be trying to look at shit and read shit. I'm like, God damn.
And the food that
it's
we
crazy.
consumed when we were younger, when you had a bowl of cereal when you were younger, that bowl of cereal is far different than the bowl of cereal you feed your kids today. It's different, man.
God.
different.
Yeah, it's very, very, man. It's very scary, bro.
Yeah.
It really is, man. And so I just, I know he was doing the lean and the alcohol and all of that, but this is the other part of that too. It's just regular daily things that we're consuming, is getting us out of here fast. That it really should be some type of, outlawed, really. In certain countries, some of this food ain't even sold.
Yeah.
So why is it able to be sold here? But in this world, you gotta, with the information at our fingertips, and you gotta really take it upon yourself, bro. You can't worry about the government banning this and banning that. There's enough information out here for people to look and say, okay, this is what I got to do. That's that. So, yeah, so shout out to the people that's doing it, that can stay consistent, because it ain't easy either.
Nah, and don't let it. And don't let the information fear you into thinking you can't eat anything, because you look at it as consume so much information, but I can't eat shit. No, it's just in moderation. Just be mindful of what you're putting in your body, and also be very mindful of what you need to put that's going to help and nourish your body. Because that's the problem. We so fast paced, and we just want to eat. And then when we realize we fucked up, then we start looking up information, and then we realize, oh damn, then you think you're gonna die. Nothing. You can't eat produce. You can't eat this. You can't eat that. You can't eat that. I'm just doomed. Nah, it's not. It's not that crazy. But just be mindful of what you're putting in your bodies.
Definitely, man. Some other horrible or bad news, I should say, from the hip hop community. They're mourning the loss of influential mixtape DJ promoter Big Ranking. Now the news began to circulate around the internet, obviously, this morning, prompting an outpouring of tributes from artists. And obviously, he worked with people like Rick Ross, Gucci Mane, Yo Gotti, 2 Chainz, Plies, Young Dolph, YFN Lucci, earning a reputation of the South's most influential DJs and promoters. He passed away also, and they're not giving a reason for his death, but nevertheless, man, another loss in the hip-hop community that everybody's talking about today. Heard of him?
I have not.
Me either.
And I don't have to hear about him to send condolences to his family and to send condolences to the community. You know what I mean? If he was obviously a fixture in the community, especially in hip-hop, where there's so much negativity, so negative-driven today, you know what I mean? You want to make sure that you pay homage. And unfortunately, we couldn't get flowers while he was alive, and we really didn't know who he was, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's still sad nonetheless. We're dying way too fast. You know what I mean? We got way too many enemies and way too many different hurdles that we got to cross over to also be dealing with this health shit as well. You know what I mean? So, again, be mindful. Be mindful of your circumstance. Be mindful of what you're putting in your body. Be mindful of the energy you keep around you, man. Because stress, food, this atmosphere, this life, all of that shit can attribute to 1 foot early in the grave. I pride myself on eating right and doing the right things, but at the same time, I do deal with stress. I do deal with anxiety. I do deal with life things. So it's just something that, as men, especially as black men, again, it's got to be mindful of and do our best to try to balance everything out, man.
Yeah, there's a heart surgeon that I watch on the internet. I forget his name right now, but he gives little tips and things, and he'll have his son, whoever, behind the camera asking him what's worse for your health, and he'll say alcohol, cigarettes, vaping, all bad.
Yeah.
But then he puts stress right up there in that top 10. It's taking a lot of people out, and to me, that's almost one of the hardest things to you can control alcohol, cigarettes, but shit comes at you.
Life, man.
Yeah, it's God damn, what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So either again, like you said, man, everything in moderation, and try to your highs stay even killed and your lows stay even killed, man, because this life is gonna throw some shit at you.
Yeah,
sure.
It's crazy when I dealt with that car situation that you was, you know what I mean, you were there with and looking me out with the mechanic, and stressing this shit,
right.
And it took this dude sitting back talking about, sometimes you got bills, sometimes you got this, sometimes you got that, but gotta let that shit go, because stress will kill you. And I'm 42 years old, I do this shit, but sometimes it just takes somebody, you just hear it and you go, damn. I mean, let me just take a step back, and maybe the bills are late. Yeah, maybe my car's fucked up, or maybe I can't get this for my kid or that for my kid, but you just gotta keep it even killed, man, because you waking up every day and having the ability to love your kids, to get that car fixed, to try to grab that bread is enough in itself to keep going, man. So moderation, man.
Yeah, thinking about people who's on their back.
Yeah.
Or don't have the activity of their limbs, or their brain ain't working properly.
Right.
They ain't got the opportunity. We got the opportunity to still your health, and that's the thing, man. Health is the most important thing. First,
yep.
First. Obviously, there's other things that are going on the line, but if you don't have that, you don't have nothing.
Right.
So let's work on keeping that shit, you know what I'm saying, good. And all the other stuff you're going to be able to conquer.
Right.